Agreed. The other thing that I think is worth you enumerating for us is the difficulty of even running an Ethereum node. Can you peel back that onion slightly, Checkmate?
Pretty much I'm at the point now where when I reboot a laptop, one of the first pieces of software that goes on is a Bitcoin node. Now, Bitcoin nodes, whether on your own personal hardware with a Raspberry Pi or your laptop, is trivial to get set up. Trivial. And very rarely do I come into any kind of problem. I have tried running an Ethereum node about 3 times. The only one I've ever managed to get working was using a quick sync function, which is essentially goes to a checkpoint, downloads, and then it's like a fast sync. Now, that's not really what you should be doing. You should really be downloading and validating the whole chain. So
right.
The hard reality is that if you run more stuff on your blockchain network, as Ethereum does, Bitcoin, all it does is move UTXOs around, right? That's it. It's basically a big database. What the Ethereum is doing is obviously orders of magnitude more complex. So the trade-off is that your data footprint is much larger, the amount of work your computer needs to do. You can't use a hard drive. You need to use an SSD. It will consume a large portion of your computer. And further to that, there's a lot of maintenance required. So when they do a hard fork, you need to have upgraded your software before that. And, you know, people can poke around. The trade-off with a hard fork is that you kind of need coordination. So there's a bit of a centralizing force there. But simultaneously, you know, if you have to keep hard forking your software, you're adding technical requirement to your end users. Now, I mentioned in the video as well, Little Timmy. Little Timmy doesn't run a node. I've been using Ethereum for, I don't know, 5 years, thereabouts. I have never, ever, ever connected my MetaMask to anything other than I've tried to connect to my own node, but that node was so heavy on my laptop that I just couldn't do anything else. So, sorry, the node's got to go. MetaMask just, you know, you can run your ledger all you want, but MetaMask is connecting to someone else's node. We see this across a lot of elements of it. You know, most Ethereum nodes run through some kind of data provider like AWS or Infura, blah, blah, blah. So there is a force that pushes these nodes onto the cloud. The data footprint is heavier. In terms of maintenance, basically I see lots of people talk about this, particularly data providers. Ethereum's node requires a lot more work. You need to be a bit more hands-on, need to be more technical. You need to be upgrading all the time. Bitcoin nodes just keep chugging along, right? They just keep chugging along. Even a Glassnode. Maintaining the Ethereum node is a process. We have multiple Ethereum nodes with different clients, and keeping them all operational all the time. You have to literally be tracking Twitter to see when a hard fork's coming up, which is a bit of a challenge. Bitcoin, you just set and forget. The thing just ticks over, and that's a common story. So that node, call it centralization force, is a trade-off, but it's also, it shows you that there's actually elements there. There's a few more layers like MEV and stuff, but I'll pause there.